Hello, welcome to the Housing Minute. My name is Samuel Gunter. I'm the Executive Director of the North Carolina Housing Coalition, and today I want to ask you for one thing, and that is to sign your organization on to our congressional sign-on letter. We're asking our delegation to do two things. One is, in the face of this proposed funding freeze, to ensure that the federal resources that are already appropriated go to where they were intended. So that's the first thing. The second thing we're asking our congressional delegation to do is, as we are running out of money on March 14th, as the government is only funded at the moment through March 14th, we are in the middle of budget negotiations for what continued funding of the government looks like, to make sure that our congressional delegation prioritizes housing investments. So make sure the money that's already appropriated goes where it's supposed to go, and make sure that we are prioritizing housing funding moving into the future. In the less than 24 hours that letter has been live, we have already had 150 organizations across the state sign on. We need yours because the window to do this advocacy and make sure it is impactful is very small. So I would encourage you to do that. As you were asked to sign on, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. One is you're going to be asked what counties you do work in. If you do work in multiple counties, write those counties down. It's very important that we show a broad geographic spread to this work, and the broad geographic spread to the impact of these federal housing investments. The other thing is that if you have not yet, in this time, given thought to who in your organization, what staff person, board member, partner family, client, universe of support, who in your orbit is kind of your point advocacy person, it's worth taking some time to think about that, because there's going to be a lot that happens and that needs to move quickly, and we will need to be responsive in ways that maybe we were able to take some more time in previous years. But given our new Congress, given what we've already seen, the messages around the impact that housing investments make in communities across our state, it's going to be very important to get those to the right folks in a timely way. So if you haven't done any thinking about who in your organization is going to take point on making sure that the impact that you make with these resources is felt by those making decisions about future funding, now's the time to do that. So again, sign on to our congressional letter asking to ensure that the housing resources get where they're going and that we continue to prioritize housing investments in future funding decisions. Make sure you let us know what multiple counties you work in, if you work in multiple counties, and think about who on your staff, who in your orbit is going to be your point person on advocacy moving into this new legislative session at the state level, a new Congress federally. Your voice is really important right now, and your voice can make an impact. The pause on the freeze only happens with the incredible amount of pushback that happened in the aftermath of the memo going out. Your voice is incredibly important right now. Make sure it's heard. Sign on to our letter. We'll see you next time.